Hello everybody and welcome back to Oakbridge Farm. So we're doing a few of the housekeeping jobs before we start getting into harvest. So we're going to load this trailer up with silage because we've now moved into July. So we're going to load this up with silage and then we're going to just quickly bob round, feed our animals, and then we should be able to go jump in our harvester and get cutting, because if we look in our mini-map, there should definitely be 3 fields. Let's go to here. So field 10 and field both sides of... Oh. We're going to be in July a long time because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields to cut. And then next month we'll have field 7 and field 9. And is the poplar ready to do as well? Does it say ready to harvest? Is this the harvesting stage? Oh God, we're going to have to... Let's put our setting right down. Okay. So this is going to be a busy month, that is for certain. I didn't think I had that many ready all in one go. So, this is the month of where we're also going to look at whether we buy ourselves a second combine. And then that second combine can help us to get through. We also we maybe need another truck and trailer, and I would like to maybe look at going down the auger wagon side, because we haven't used auger wagons yet in this, well, definitely in this series, well, any series we haven't used one. So I thought that would be something that would be quite nice and a bit different to do. I would like to just say thank you very much to Nathan Fast, who has been messaging on, I can't remember which video it was, but he was asking about what sort of series I'll do next, like whether I think the main question was whether I liked the American, American maps, which I do, and then he'd suggested maybe he's doing a Michigan map or the Alma, Missouri. I know the Alma, Missouri, that's just recently, it's either just had the update or the update is just going, with Giants now, I can't remember. But you know the Alma map, that for me, I think it's a very, very beautiful map. And is it Celabuki, is that how you pronounce it? What he does with his maps are amazing. The only thing that makes me slightly hesitant about those sort of maps is they are big fields, and when you try and record and do stuff, I do try, whether or not I do a good job of it is a different story, but I do try to keep changing what we're doing all the time, so that it's not just a 5-minute time lapse of cultivating a field, if that makes sense. So, but what I am planning and how I see these series is I always want to have a UK based series going. That's something that I want to do, and that's something I'm very keen on doing, because the UK maps, obviously being from the UK, is what I enjoy. So I always want a UK map. So when Oakbridge Farms finishes, I would like to try and see if there is another map that would be able to use or not. I know there's obviously Oxygen David's map, which I'll definitely be going on to there. Is that Whitcomb Park? Definitely be going on to there. I know Farmson Briscoe, he has a map coming out. But again, I think that could be similar to what I say about the Alma and the Michigans, is just that the fields are that vast. It's one of them, when you first start, it may take a bit of time. Not to say that I won't do it, but it's something just to consider. So I know that there's those 2 maps, and then there's in November there's the new DLC coming out for I forget what it's called now, Kilnari. I'm just going to embarrass myself trying to remember what it's called. But then there's a new European map, from Giants. And that'll definitely be something that I want to have a go with, especially with the new JCBs coming out. Those old fast tracks. When I used to be a dryer man when I was in my younger days, and we had a load of those old fast tracks, and I used to love using them. But right, let's now So we've got the trailer full, we've got that full. We do have a load of manure over there that needs loading up at some point, but we're going to move on to that once silage is completely done. Just going to tip into the chickens once we get onto the trailer. So tip into there, and then we can move on to taking our truck up to the BGA. But animals, so goats are fine, sheep are fine, chickens are fine, and all our cows are fine. So let's just turn that off. Let's get into here. So we don't have much in here, but it's enough to keep us going. And then, like I say, we'll be moving on to the slurry and manure to keep the BGA going. So for the final time of delivering silage here, like I say, we've still got slurry and manure to go, but we now have no more loose silage. And I would imagine we've got the bales. It just depends whether we're going to be taking them here or whether we will just go and sell them separately elsewhere. But right, let's get back to the farm and we can start looking at organising ourselves ready to start our final harvest. So we will just leave this here for now. And okay, handbrake's finally worked. Let's go on. Well, what we can do is, I shouldn't have done that because we can now move this. This wants to move over to where the manure pit is, because it would be nice to load a few trailer loads up of manure, but then we can also use the autofill as well, which just creeps on into next door. Okay, we do have a little bit of silage left, but we can tidy that up, just throw that into here. That, to me, makes the most amount of sense to do that. So let's just leave this here for now. Let's go on to our combine. I think our header is over in Lancey Boy's grain store, so we'll go over that. We'll go over there and pull the header out. And I think those two fields over there, they're all ready to harvest anyway, so we can get straight on in there. Got plenty of fabric turning up now. So we've just put the header on, and if we... Ooh, we're scraping the side of the shed. I'm sure we washed that header before we went... There we go. If at first you don't succeed, pull harder. I'm sure we washed that before we put that away, but anyways, we must not have done. So we're going to start over here, which I forget what field. Was this a linseed field? So let's drop that off. We can start to unfold the combine. We can now attach the header, fold the header, and let's just move up into this top corner. So if I try steering assist now, will it find the field? No. Okay, so let's turn that on, drop that down. We can just swing this through. Is it going to give us our lines? Yes. So yeah, so now all there is to do is to get this field of linseed cut, and this is the start of the final harvest. Linseed certainly yields well. What's that going to be? There's 20,000 litres in there, 50, 60, 70. So we're almost 80,000 litres of linseed just off this one field alone. That's absolutely crazy. But what I would like to have a look at is, whilst we are here, let's go down auger wagons. And we're not going for something like that. Although it can hold a vast amount, I don't think that would be the correct thing or the right thing to look forward to go and do. So what are these? So that's the Plains and Prairies pack, and you need 500 horsepower for that. What else do we have? The Hallmaster, which that's 46. That's slightly better because it's just a little bit smaller, which is quite nice. Because we also want to have a look at, I most likely want one for potatoes, which I don't know which one you would go for. I think that's just a big tipping trailer that lifts up and tips, I think. What about this one? That's 46. That's definitely a possibility. So let's go for. I need to make a decision here now, don't we? What's that? Oh, there's the auger there on that bottom right hand side. Right. Decision time. So that's 41. That one gets 33. This one 30. And what was this one back here? That's 46. I am going to go and get this one. Configuration standard. Twin wheels. Oh, we can get it on crawl tracks. Just one last thing. Does this do... Okay, so that's only good for how we're working now. Whilst this one... Or this one? Okay, they're only good for how we're working now as well. Right, let's go for this. Let's go crawl tracks. Where's lease? Let's lease that, so we can go gather that up as and when we like to. I think a new trailer, another trailer and another truck will come in handy, and also another combine, so we can work multiple fields all at the same time. So we'll just back this into here quickly, like so. No, we don't want it doing that. How do we get the tip side back? Grain door, sliding floor. Yes, please. That should be a bit better. We shouldn't hit the roof of our barn now. Brilliant. Ooh, we're going through the shed a bit. Brilliant. So I'm going to quickly just get this linseed field finished. I'm going to set the worker off in the next door field, which is canola. They're going to get set off in there, and then I'm going to go and start baling. I hadn't planned on doing any baling, but it was one of those afterthoughts of we're thinking about it. Actually, doing a bit of baling means we're not just doing time lapse after time lapse of combining. Why is that there? Oh dear, I didn't remove the store delivery mod. You can just see the triangle there. Oopsie. So we'll put this here for now. Let's go find combine. Oh, we should have emptied that. Let's jump in to the Deutz and we'll get our black trailer over here, our crampy. We will empty what's left in the combine and just finish that field. And that is our first field of the final harvest complete. So that we can lift all that up. That was silly. I always forget the straw takes a bit longer to come out the back, so whenever you move like that, you lose, like you gotta just remember to stop basically. So if we come back to our Deutz-Fahr, get this last bit emptied into here, we are going to have a bit of a mad sort of leasing spree of everything, because whilst we've got, obviously we're at 1.8 million, and whilst we've got this money, it'd be quite nice to use everything. I did bring the Og wagon over here to look at doing a screenshot, but I think I'll just wait for the time being. So this corner always used to be a bit awkward, so I am just going to start. Oh no, that's before I put the shed in. This corner always used to be awkward because where I've put the shed, there was just a little corner up there, which even for myself it was always a nuisance to try get it done. But right, if we just start the combine here, like so, let's go on to this menu and go for our worker. We can now set the worker off, and they shouldn't be too far off being ready here. We will take the Deutz, get this linseed emptied into the grain store, which is lovely that you've got a proper shed to tip into, but just very quickly, so it just gets a bit quite tight. Just gets a bit quite tight. I don't think that's the right way to say that. It gets a bit tight when you are trying to reverse it. Let's just nip through this little gap here. We'll have to get some hawthorn and plant that back up. Another load of linseed going in, and we will know, once this is tipped, we'll have our grand total for that field. We also have another field of linseed to go, which I think is to be a similar sort of size, definitely. Now that is all in, let's go up to here. Which our linseed should be, yeah, there it is, 86,322 litres of linseed we've just harvested. So we should have well over 100,000 litres once we finish. The only problem with linseed is you don't get much money for it. The baling is really helps sort of with the cost of it all. But where's my combine? Oh, there. Oh. There's one tree, and I managed to drive into it. That's fairly well done by me. So we'll drop that trailer off, and we will go find the baler, which I believe is down here. So the poplar, I think we're going to wait till winter till we do that, because then it just means we can harvest it and sell it straight off the field when it should be at max value. So that's my plan there. The olives, they need mulching, so there's no point doing them just yet. I don't think I'll do them this episode, because obviously we're going to be in July for a fair while, so we have a lot of time to do it, and I think they need harvesting in October. So as long as it's done before then, we shouldn't be sort of too bad. And it gives us another option of something else to do, just to make sure that we're not doing the same jobs over and over and over again in one episode and the same time lapses. Well, that hasn't worked. I was hoping that would get all of that. Considering I try to avoid putting crops in that would give us a lot of baling to do, the more I'm thinking of it, the more we've got quite a bit of baling to do. Obviously we've got the oat field next door, we've got this linseed field that we're baling here. There's linseed over in our new field over there. So there's 3 fields, considering I was trying to get it down to that we only had maybe 1 when I put the oats in. Our worker has done a fantastic job in there, or at least I hope he has, or her. And now that's done. So we've managed to knock off 2 fields already. That's going to take a bit of time over there. And I know the potato field, that is going to take a lot of time. But I'm hoping when it comes to the potatoes, we can look at implementing course play with multiple potato harvesters. But right, we're going to take this to where all our spinneries are, because there's no point it being sat here now no more. So we'll take this to alt spinneries, and that is then ready for baling the oats, which I'm sure they're ready. I don't think our other field of linseed, I don't think that's ready because that was a spring crop. So it wouldn't surprise me if we need to wait another month, if not 2, for that to be ready to cut. So if we just leave this here and have a quick run over. So ready to harvest, yes. So where is our combine? So it's brilliant. You look there, that's a sharp sort of corner when you've got such a big machine to try and get into it. The fact it's only left 2 little bits, I think, is really rather quite good. But we'll take the combine up to the trailer. There's no point bringing it down. I forgot we had the auger wagon. That's why I took the lorry down into the field, which I won't do that again. That was my fault of just forgetting, just reverting back to how we've always done it with tractors and trailers, but this time just with a truck. So let's swing that into here. Are we over yet? There we go. So we'll get this empty. I'm just trying to decide what the best way to do things is. Obviously, I want to get as much into the productions as possible to make as much money as we possibly can before the end of the series, but I don't want to get into a predicament of where I've left so much in productions that we're just never going to use it all. So it's like in there's 30,000 litres of canola. Do I put that into our oil mill and no more? And will that mean that we'll be able to use it all up? It's that, or we get a smaller trailer and just keep doing it in little increments all the time, just to make sure that we're not wasting our products. Right, let's go down this one. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't going down a real tight one. I won't be able to turn around or manoeuvre. So if we put that there, we should really be, with all this space we've got, and yet we're still driving in the crop. That's not the greatest. Ooh, let's put that on. Fold that away. And we will have to put it back onto our swath dropping, I would imagine, because we've just done canola, so we'll revert back, because I've taken off. We did have the extended straw mod, I think it was, but I have taken that off. I thought with baling everything, it just got a bit too much for my liking. But now we can turn around here. Let's go into our help menu, steering assist, yes please, and we can now get our field of oats done, hopefully in a relatively good time. one of two options. We can either, with the baler being here, we can jump straight into baling this, or we can look at going into the field that we've already baled, the first linseed field, and we can look and start gathering all those bales up. But the oats haven't been too bad. We've almost got 40,000 litres, because there's 20,000 in there, and then we have a total of 18,000, so that's 38,133 litres of oats out of this field, which I think that hasn't been too bad at all. Right, we will go and get our trailer. So we'll just have to empty the canola out of here, and then we will load up with all the oats. Well, there's something a bit different. I'm sure you can all imagine what the screenshot for this episode's going to be. So right, let's hop out of there, and our oats are now empty out of the combine. Oh, I'm in the tractor. Let's pull the tractor forward and out the way, and then we can pull the tractor out the way, and we can pull the lorry out the way, because we will need to be down there at some point, I would have said. Because if we look at our map now, so that's 3 fields done. We've got field 3, 14 and 33 to do. So the combine, I think we're going to send this to 33. So if we unfold the header trailer, let's drop that down. We can fold up the combine and just put this on, so this is ready. And what I'm thinking is we will get a smaller do we get a smaller combine? I'm just thinking about the sorghum field up there. How big, if we go into our store and go headers, so that's 15.2. If we now go harvesters, well, actually no, go headers, let's go down to here, because I would like to 15.2. So we can go and get the John Deere. With them both having the same size headers, we can move them around. So the John Deere can go do those 2 little fields. This can go do the big field, well, the bigger field I should say, down over there. And then we can go with the chaser bin over there, and then with the John Deere to do these 2. Because there's 11 to do at some point, but that's got a day or 2 till that's ready. And then the John Deere, we can just have a tractor and trailer following these around, because that is... Okay, so I put wheat in there, linseed. Oh, I've got 2 fields of linseed left to go. I put a lot more straw down than what I was originally planning and intending to do. Deciding to do baling was won my vote. I just thought with the bales it'll be a lot easier if we use Loki's auto load on our flatbed, and we can just whiz through these fields loading up instead of doing it little bit by little bit. So let's unload. Oh, we need to turn it off first, raise it up. Let's unload what's in the baler there. So in the next episode, it's going to be field 14 being harvested, which that is going to be baled. 3's going to be harvested and baled. When 11's harvested, that's going to be baled. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields of bales. And then field 2, the poplar, I am thinking I'm going to forage harvester it. I think that's the most sensible option. But I did half think about doing that with bales as well. But I think I've gone off that one. And here, this canola field, this is ready to go as and when we get chance. So let's turn that off. Let's go through. So oats 38,133. So we can just pull this out of the way for now. And so the next episode we'll have to work it all out with equipment. So we can call it a day at that. I think that's been a very productive episode. I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.